If you've been scrolling through endless generator options and still feel stuck, you're not alone. I spent a weekend watching YouTube reviews, digging through forums, and even chatting with a few contractors before I finally narrowed it down. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When the power goes out, the first thing most of us think about is, will this thing actually keep the lights on? The hesitation isn't just about what's on a spec sheet. It's about whether the machine will sit quietly in the driveway while the kids do homework, whether it will run long enough for a weekend camping trip, and whether you'll end up paying extra for a device that can't handle the real load you throw at it. The Pulsar 7250W super quiet dual-fuel remote start inverter generator lands right in that gray area where power, portability, and peace of mind intersect. Let's walk through why that matters for 3 typical scenarios and see if the bundle's value holds up. First, picture a suburban family that lives in an area prone to summer thunderstorms. They have a refrigerator, a few lights, a Wi-Fi router, and maybe a sump pump that kicks on when the rain gets heavy. The key concerns here are runtime and noise. Pulsar's 6000 running capacity is enough to keep a fridge, a few lights, and a router humming without tripping the breaker. This super quiet claim translates to about 62 dB at half load, roughly the sound of a normal conversation. In practice, that means you could run the generator in the garage or on the back patio without waking the whole block. The built-in oil shutdown adds a safety net. If you forget to check the oil after a long storm, the unit will shut itself off before any damage occurs. Now think about a weekend warrior who loves taking the RV to the mountains. For a camper, the ability to fuel up on either gasoline or propane is a game changer. If you're at a campsite that only offers propane, you can switch without hauling a whole extra tank. The 8.5-hour runtime on a single gasoline tank means you could power the fridge, a small air conditioner, and a couple of USB chargers through a full day of cooking and watching movies, then top off the tank at the next stop. The included 31 by 21 by 23-inch waterproof polyester cover isn't just a nice Cedo-Have accessory. It protects the engine from rain, snow, and UV exposure, extending the lifespan of the machine when you store it under a tarp or in a shed. Finally, consider a freelance electrician who needs a reliable backup for a job site. The dual-fuel capability lets them use whatever fuel is cheapest or most readily available, which can shave a few dollars off each day's operating cost. The inverter design produces clean, stable power that's safe for sensitive electronics, a must-have when you're running a digital multimeter or a laptop on the same circuit as a power drill. The remote start button is a subtle but appreciated feature. You can fire it up from inside the trailer or even from a short distance away, avoiding the cold start shock of pulling a cord in the morning. So who should actually buy this generator? If you're a homeowner who wants a backup that's quiet enough for a residential neighborhood, needs the flexibility of 2 fuel options, and appreciates a built-in safety suite, the Pulsar 7250W ticks most boxes. It also makes sense for RV owners and small-scale contractors who need clean power for electronics, but don't require a full-size industrial generator. The bundle's cover adds real protection value, especially if you store the unit outdoors or in a damp garage. Who might want to skip it? If your power demand consistently exceeds 6,000 watts, say you run multiple air conditioners, a well pump, and a large workshop simultaneously, you'll quickly hit the ceiling and risk overloading. The runtime, while solid for casual use, drops off sharply if you run the unit near its peak wattage. You'll be refueling more often than you'd like on a full-day job site. And if you're looking for a featherlight portable that you can tote up a flight of stairs, the 190-plus pound weight of the dual-fuel engine plus the cover may be a deal-breaker. The remote start is handy, but you still need a stable, level surface and proper ventilation. It's not a set-and-forget solution for indoor use. Let's talk about the hidden trade-offs that often get glossed over in marketing copy. Dual-fuel flexibility sounds great until you realize the carburetor tuning differs between gasoline and propane. Switching fuels isn't just a flip of a lever. You have to follow the manual's priming steps, which can be a bit finicky the first few times. That learning curve isn't a deal-breaker, but it's worth noting for anyone who's never handled a propane-compatible engine before. Another practical point is the inverter's clean power claim. Inverter generators typically produce a very stable sine wave, ideal for laptops and phones. However, the Pulsar's inverter rating caps at 6,000 running watts,